Let's take a look at some old maps. This came out in 2008. Despite it being published so recently, it is already slightly outdated. Taking a look at this map of the world, you can see that it goes up to 2008. See that Montenegro and Serbia have split and Kosovo declared independence. You can see Hong Kong, but not Macau. And take a look, you can see that despite Montenegro and Serbia splitting, they are still firmly together on this map. You can also still see Zaire and Sudan as all together. A look at this map of Europe makes it even more confusing when you see that Montenegro has annexed Kosovo. Actually has quite some inaccuracies. In the corner you can see there is still Yugoslavia. Your flag is Spain. On the page for Spain. Actually a pretty interesting map of the Caribbean though. Still a little bit of inaccuracies, but it's actually alright. Cannot seem to decide the flag of Afghanistan, which makes sense as it changed a lot during this time. Side we have a travel map from the 1960s of Florida. Oh sorry, 1959. Map of Florida. Some other maps showing historical things and geographical shapes of Florida. How to take a tour in Florida. And the history of Florida. And a lot of the future books you're going to see have a lot more than just maps, but we're just talking about maps today. Next up, this fascinating dictionary from 1987. It's also really neat, but we're looking at the maps at the end. Maps, though, we have the solar system, which still includes Pluto. There's the world, and as you can see, there's already a lot different. Much as that different on the Americas is Canada or United States, but if we go into Europe, we can see there's still East and West Germany, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and the USSR. We have the old spelling of Belarusia. Of course, you have Ukraine and Moldavia, and the other Soviet Socialist republics. Asia and the Middle East. You can see Burma is still there. Nepal and Bhutan. The UAE has a weird border, as well as Oman. We have both Yemens. And obviously the USSR, although interesting, it's not split into Soviet Socialist republics this time. We also have one Korea, although their border is still split. And again, only Hong Kong. There's also Taiwan. Africa has Zaire, a singular Sudan. There's Cameroon, Mali, the Upper Volta. And, yeah, Namibia is independent from South Africa. Yeah, there's already a Tanzania, so it's united. And Ethiopia owns Eritrea. Australia, we also have Papua New Guinea up there. We also have flags. Cambodia / Kampuchea. Of course, we have Belarus or Belarusian Soviet Socialist Republic. Comoros and the Congo. Area and Burma. This flag of Belize and for Benin. This flag for Belize is really interesting because I'm used to having the red strips. A very old flag for Afghanistan, and Albania should have a little yellow star, but maybe it's just too small to see. Ethiopia. Oh no, it came out of focus. Both Germanys here. And look at the flag of Haiti. It's pretty weird looking. Iran doesn't have the symbol in the center there. Have Czechoslovakia. North and South Korea. Very old flag of Mozambique. For Mongolia and Mauritania. Flags of the Seychelles and South Africa. Weird thing with Spain not having the coat of arms. Iranian Soviet Socialist Republic. The USSR itself. Council of Europe. The Organization of American States. Zaire. Western Samoa. As well as the Red Cross and Red Crescent. And Red Mogden David, which was used by Israel as kind of a form of these. There's also the Organization of African Unity, the prior thing to the African Union. And there's also Yugoslavia, South Yemen, and the United Nations. Showing a timeline of American history, it has this map of Korea. And while it's not supposed to be an atlas map, it looks weird, like South Korea looks like it's Ireland almost. This dictionary is fascinating, and not just for the maps in the back. And I just thought it was really neat, and I really enjoyed this. school textbook, The Rise of the American Nation, and overall this is a very fascinating book, but today we're just looking at maps. We have some good old exploration maps. I forgot to mention this came out in 1966. Just letting you all see this. New World exploration maps. Land grants. Colonies and other colonies around them. Obviously New France, as that's what it's trying to show you, because New France is threatening the British colonies. Yeah, again, this whole book is interesting, not just the maps, but we're just looking at that. Market during colonial times. The Barbary States. Explorations. States right as the Civil War broke out, and you can see it actually puts the effort into showing the various different territorial boundaries, something a lot of maps made in the modern day do not even show. They just show it as blanks. This is actually really interesting. Here's a map of the Civil War, as interestingly as they call it, the war between the states. See, this again more detailed than a lot of textbooks or even non-textbooks show today, so it's actually pretty interesting. American expansion into the Caribbean, the Canal Zone, various other interesting things. So have a map of World War I in Europe. Europe before World War I, it looks like after the Balkan Wars. And then after World War I. This is pretty detailed. And obviously, this book is not perfect, but a lot of the maps are really good. Some events leading up to World War II on a map. And again, there are some weird things like how weird the Sudetenland looks, but overall, these maps are pretty good compared to modern textbook maps. Here is a World War map that is full world. And again, some of these are definitely not perfect, but again, better than most modern maps, and overall, it's very interesting to look at. So we've got the Mandate there, South Seas Mandate. We have Allied victory in Europe and in the Pacific. Here is a map of the Korean War. And here's a map of critical areas in the world. On the time of the making of this book, you can see Yugoslavia. Again, the borders are not perfect, but it's very interesting. South Rhodesia. Upper Volta. Dahomey. You see there's still East Pakistan. North and South Vietnam. Tibet, although it looks like it might be part of China at this time, I'm not too sure. Here is a map of the United States at the time of making. Well, at the time of the book. I mean, yeah. Still pretty up to date, obviously, because landforms don't really change. Map of the territorial growth of the United States. Pretty accurate. I've seen some books that have this displayed horribly, but this is a pretty good one. Is the transportation systems. A map of the world, including the United States and its positions. See, there is still a United States still has control over these regions. So you got Tibet, Burma, United Arab Republic. There's a Canal Zone. Yeah, so we've got the trusteeship from the United Nations. I forgot what it's called, but it's the trusteeship over the Pacific area after it was taken away from Japan after World War II. The recent president at the end of this book is Lyndon B. Johnson. Look at these very old encyclopedias / atlases from 1934. Not every country has a map, but most do. Here's a map of India. And you can also see that includes Bhutan, Nepal, British Ceylon, as well as Portuguese and French India. See, we have things. You can see some of the princely states, as well as the administrative divisions. We also have Burma, which is still part of the British Raj. There's Ceylon. The federated Malay states, even though kind of India, but it's okay. Nicobar Islands. There's Goa. Yeah. Overall, very interesting map. Also have Italy. You can see, I believe that's the Free State of Fayum. I forget if that's still in existence, but it's written in the same font as countries, so I'm going to assume that's the Free State of Fayum. Tunisia, which is French, and also looking up at Rome here. I'm sure you can find some interesting things in place names, but I think it's cool. Vatican City there. Again, there's Yugoslavia too. There's a map of Japan. That also includes Taiwan / Formosa. There's the Kuril Islands. There's Korea. See this full map. And you can also see some of the concessions in China and other leased areas. Here is a map of China, as well as French Indochina and Siam. You see the administrative divisions of French Indochina. You've got Annam, Tonkin, or as it's spelled, Tonking, Cambodia, Cochin China. You also have the Federated Malay States again, although I think it's trying to show the bottom part of Siam here, which is Thailand. Of course, have China. Split up into more divisions than today, I think. I think at least some of these boundaries have changed, especially in Outer Mongolia. Got some of the concessions. There's Korea. Yeah. I like how the Philippines are just cut off. It's pretty cool. Here is a map of all Asia. You can see French Indochina, Siam, the British Raj in India, Ceylon, Sarawak, North Borneo, the Philippines, which are owned by the United States, Japan, Mongolia, and Tibet, which are, of course, kind of disputed. There's Afghanistan, Persia, Saudi Arabia. There's Yemen, but also British Aden. We have the Trucial States, Qatar, Oman. There's Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, Egypt, the British Mandate of Palestine, the British Mandate of Transjordan, Iraq or Mesopotamia, Turkey, Transcaucasia, the Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic, the Uzbek Soviet Socialist Republic, the Tajik Soviet Socialist Republic. If you know, they have very different spelling. Of course, here's the Kyrgyz steppe, which back in the day, Kazakh people were also called Kyrgyz, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong on that, so don't take my word for it. You also see Europe as well. And of course, you have the Russian Soviet Socialist Republic, which is part of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Here's a closer-up map of Europe. Sweden, Norway, Finland with its old borders. We don't have the Soviet Socialist Republic shown here, unlike we did before. Czechoslovakia, Poland, see the Free City of Danzig, East Prussia, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Germany, Luxembourg, I don't know who wrote on that, Belgium, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, France, Spain, Morocco, Spanish Morocco, Tunisia, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Romania, many other things. See Turkey, and also see Middle East. Pretty neat. And to finish it off, I've got a globe. Let's look at Europe first. You can see we have East and West Germany, Poland, There's Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, but no other Soviet Socialist republics labeled. And yes, this is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. There's Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Romania. We also have independent states. And here, there's Burkina Faso, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, General Sudan region, and Sudan itself, which also has Darfur and South Sudan labeled. There's also Egypt, Jordan, Israel, although it's kind of hard to see, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, the ruins of Babylon, Saudi Arabia, both Yemens, Ethiopia owns Eritrea, there's Tanzania already, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, and Namibia, which is being imaged as Southwest Africa. There's Congo, Zaire, Cameroon. We have the old border of the UAE, Oman, Turkestan, Afghanistan. We have Pakistan and India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Burma, Thailand or Siam, Kampuchea or Cambodia, United Vietnam, Taiwan or Formosa, Japan, North and South Korea, China, Mongolia. We have the old name for Xinjiang or East Turkestan there. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. It's like Singkong or Singkang. I'm not too sure. But anyways, there's Tibet. And also Manchuria. The Americas don't look too different from how they look today. Although, there's a canal zone. Yeah, South America does not look that different. Take a look at Alaska, in case anyone needs to know the globe name for more information. I'm not too sure exactly when this is made, but I'm pretty sure sometime in the 80s, maybe early 90s. I might be quite wrong, but that's okay. We have Western Samoa, which is later just became Samoa. Papua New Guinea, Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, which is part of the United Kingdom, and Macau, which is part of Portugal. Federated States of Micronesia. Here is Antarctica. I had to flip the globe over slightly to get this to be seen. Here is the underside, the other side of Antarctica here. Some more info for anyone who wants to learn more about the globe. Here's the Caribbean. And here is the North Pole. Overall, this globe is very fascinating. I'm going to spin this a bit, just so you can see it, and maybe make your own note of details. I know this is just around the equator, but still. I'm sure some you can find something neat. Hey, it's I don't know if I already mentioned this, but it's Burkina Faso, not Upper Volta, which means this is made after the 1980s atlas we saw earlier still had it as Upper Volta, which is interesting. So there you go, some old maps and a globe. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe at some point soon I'll have some more old maps to show you.